It is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X Unity to Godot. No, other direction. Godot to Unity. No, Unity to Godot. So I was right in the first place. I was trying to, whatever. And I have Unity up this time because I couldn't remember how things were working. What we were doing next. So in Godot, we have this here so far. We're still in the infancy here. My computer hates running both of these. But we have the bar going. We have time working. We have everything going here. But this research button doesn't do anything currently. And what we're working towards here is making it pop up this panel. And then I was looking because I couldn't remember. I didn't remember this part, but I was like, did I actually put another panel with a description? And I did. So this is gonna be what we're gonna be working on this forever. Did I update Twitch? I don't know. I've been winging it all day. Oh, I didn't update Twitch. Let me update Twitch while I talk. I forgot. And there we go. Done. That's the button I needed. All right. So this is gonna require some things. In Unity, I have like this whole. Whoops, I was still in Unity. I wasn't even sure if I was going to stream today, and then I was like, I really kind of want to work on this. So in Unity, I forgot where everything is. I have this script called world map load that just has like a bazillion things in it. And so when the game starts, it does all of this shit. And we kind of still need that, but I'm going to break this into pieces. And I was doing that in the Hex Demon game too. I had a similar thing called controller in the Hex Demon thing that I'm slowly breaking into pieces. And that's what we're going to do with this. So this has like the research, where it's getting these words and stuff. The research is in there. Like, the actual words for this stuff. It's pulling the Forest Shack name. It's pulling this. I think actually the Forest Shack might not be that way, and we're not going to do it. We're going to do it much more simply right now. We just need. I want the basics of every little thing done as we go around. And I was kind of like I would get fixated on like research, let's say, and I would do all this work on it, but it wasn't even. I didn't even know if that's how it was going to be when we got back around to it. So this time I'm trying to make it even smaller little chunks because we're doing like loops of the game. Like we're going to do one little loop of everything that we need in the game, and then when we get back to the beginning, we'll go and do another loop and improve each one of those things. So that's the plan here. So that's what it looks like in Unity. And we also want to put this pause thing first. Actually, this is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this pause button that will turn on and on. Turn on and on? Turn on and off. And that's going to be on our clock. I was looking at some things over here, which we will get to later. Open. Sometimes it's opening and I'm too impatient and it opens twice. And that's what I think I just did. Or maybe even 3 times. It's open many times. Get over here. We have this clock on its own and we have it open over here. All right, let's close this one. Maybe. Go away. It doesn't like that I have all this different shit open. I'm going to make sure that I'm like not hemorrhaging frames here. We're fine. So on this clock, I have like not that yet. This thing. And so we're going to implement this thing right now. And this shouldn't hopefully take forever. On the wrong thing. Hopefully. So if we go back to our main thing here, this is not going to be part of these other things. It's going to be its own thing. It's not a part of county info, and it's not a part of the top bar control. It is its own little thing. And so I was thinking about this, and I Googled this. I know you, everyone in chat's going to be like, your decision is wrong. But I still don't understand why you would make this a scene. I looked in everything, in everyone. So I agree with like everything except for the UI stuff, because we're never moving to another, we're never instantiating this stuff or making an instance of it. And now we just have like extra things, extra scripts to like put all this stuff over. It's weird to me. So I'm not going to do that anymore until it clicks. So, and, you know, at some point I might be like, oh, now I get why you do that. But at this point, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Because it's just extra scripts and extra like layers of stuff that I don't feel is necessary. Like, it's weird. Oh man, I got like 12 of these open. That's what impatience gets me. Where's this? Did I close the wrong one? No. All right. So the first thing we got to do is we got to put in, we're going to add a new, I guess it's going to be a control, because we're going to want it like down. Maybe it should be a part of the top bar. No, let's not make it a part of the top bar. Let's stretch this thing to, oh, I put middle. We want it like at the top, but we want it below this thing. And it doesn't have to be, well, we have to play the game. Yeah, it's definitely going to not like it when I'm having both of these running. We could close this one. This part computer's, it needs to be dusted out. So it doesn't have to be this perfect. It could be down a little bit more. In fact, I would probably prefer it to be down a little bit more so that we can see better what's going on. Let's stop this as well. I'm going to the where Godot stuff is. Which is, I gotta start some music too. I was like, why is this there? So when there's like a weird hissing, it's not weird. There's too much stuff going on, too much silence. So all this is gonna have is a label. So let's put the label in there so we can see what we're doing, where this shit is. This thing should be centered in the control, and we're gonna need the word paused. I guess not exactly centered. We're also gonna need to do some stuff with label settings. We want this a little bit bigger. I think that is what we want. I'm gonna turn down my music. I know you guys can't hear it, but now it's too loud. Now I can't find anything. Joker, how's it going? Yeah, we were on my Discord. We were talking about the visual scripting part, but you were saying that it's gone in 4, huh? I know. So in Unity, I accidentally clicked some button, and it was like suddenly it started, you know, importing packages, and it installed the visual scripting part, and I messed around with it a little bit. Then I was like, maybe this is awesome, and I watched some videos, and it didn't seem that awesome. It kind of was nice to see like the layout, you know, like it's not I was gonna say a pyramid, but it's not a pyramid. It's, you know, like some sort of graph. I don't know the word, flowchart. And it was kind of neat to see the flowchart. And then I actually watched some guys stream using the visual in Unity with the flowchart thing. But I haven't had the need to have to visualize it yet. It's quite possible that at some point I'd be like, fuck, I need to visualize these different choices. But so far it hasn't been like needed. We need to move where this thing is. We want it to be in the center. And so this thing, though, we need to move down. We need... This isn't going to be a panel. It's just going to be words. Let's see. Yeah. His was pretty complicated. It wasn't this complicated. When I was messing around with animations, because I tried to do a 3D game, and the animations, that's how my animations immediately went to like this just horrible system. And then I watched a bunch of tutorials on that, of the like how you're supposed to rearrange your animations, and it didn't help. And I was like, animations are so hard for me. They're like the thing. I said this on a YouTube comment. However much animators get paid, they need to get paid more because holy shit, it is like the most frustrating thing. Even just moving like a token, you know how I've been using those tokens like in every, it's in this too. Just like moving it a little bit was like an hour of work to get it to look. Uh, let's see. Oh wow. Yeah. 0.5%. Oh wow, I'm surprised C sharp is such a small portion. Well, that makes sense then why so many tutorials are GD script by far. Okay, well that takes back some of my thought process. I was like they should get rid of GD script and just do C sharp, but I didn't know that many people. I thought it was like 50-50. Um, huh. That is quite surprising to me. So with this thing, I don't know. Let's see. We might have to put one of those margin things and move it down. Move this down, I guess. We're going to just want to move it a little bit. Well, more than a little bit. More than 25 pixels. Let's look at the theme overrides. We could do it this really bizarre way if we did like 50. Oh, no, that's not going to work how I want it to. Um, Luckily, we can Control Z our way out of there. Some stuff Control Z works, and some stuff it doesn't on here. There's no. Oh, there is a theme. Let's see what we can do with this theme. This is the part where I get like frustrated with the UI part of Godot. It feels like it should be simple. You should just be able to type in a thing, a number somewhere. To bump it down. I was just curious what this would do. Would that bring that up? No, it doesn't. Manage items. Is that a thing somewhere that I should be? Yeah, so that's why I stuck to C sharp um because uh I would already learn so much of it using Unity. Might as well stick around that. So now I'm trying to find back to where was it under themes or something? New theme. No, I don't want to mess with that right now. Where am I at? I'm in the label. Theme overrides. Hey Schmiggy, how's it going? Um, so I just want to move this down so that it's kind of like this. Well, you can't see without it playing. So this pause is underneath here, but I actually would prefer to have it a little bit lower now that I think about it. Now that I look at this. So it's like more like here. I feel like I'm going to have to use the margin thing. Add a margin container. Put this up here, this in here. whoops, can I do that? Now I fuck shit up over here. I gotta go back to layout. No, it was under, I gotta remember. Don't tell me. It's the only way I'm gonna remember where this shit is. Theme? No, it wasn't theme out. Layout. How did I fuck that up? Let's get rid of this thing. Oh, right. I gotta go back. Oh, you gave it away. So I want this to be here. But when you're saying just drag it down, can I do that? Move mode. But I gotta, so where is it put this? Under the transform? It doesn't have like here's the transform. So I don't care about the size. That's fine. What is this when it's centered? What is the number on it? 925. Is negative up or down? There we go. 50 looks pretty good. Let's see. Whoops, we got the wrong text in here though. Let's see. That looks about where we want it to be. So now we're gonna have to fuck with this shit. We need private label and all right, then this should start out hidden. So the top bar could change sizes eventually. That's like something that I'm a little worried about. I forgot to put this into the clock. But I feel like that's something when I'm redoing the UI later, it should be more of a concern. Like same with these things. This drives me insane that these are different. this is mushy. I googled it and I couldn't find anyone else complaining about it. Maybe I'm the only one who's so anal. All right, so that's the easy part. Now we get to go to the hard part. So over here, the hard part being, and I was looking at something here. I was looking at these before. So I just put 50 in there, and that seemed to work into the Y. So when the button goes up, that's fine. But what I want to do is when this thing comes up, so when you click on this button, it's going to open up a research panel. And on this research panel, it's going to look just like this. Well, not just like it. It's going to look similar to this. It needs to pause the time. And so what I wanted to do is to just do that automatically when it opens and closes. But I noticed that there's no show signal on here. There's this draw one, but it's weird because this draw one, every time it must redraw, after the related notification draw notification, like what is it? How often does it have to redraw? Every frame? Godot, how often redraw? We don't. Is it just visibility? Well, so the problem with visibility change is then I would have to fuck with this clock. Pausing and unpausing. I'm gonna have to figure out a way. So maybe this will work. Let's think. There was a reason why that this didn't work in Unity, and I had to create these ones. And I can't remember why though. It's always I can't remember why. And I had to use these for the panels. So let's look at this though. Well, let's just try it, and then let's just see. Let's try it and see if that. So let's just try it. What is this panel? This needs to be named something that I can speed panel. Okay, so we're gonna need another panel. All right, there's two things we're gonna need here. Do I want it here? No, I'm gonna want it over here. I already gave. I already gave this speech, but I still don't understand why so these should be separate things. I even looked it up after because I was thinking about it more. These should be separate scenes. Like these make sense to be separate scenes. We actually don't need this shit open. But the UI, I still don't understand. So I'm not going to do them as separate scenes until it clicks. If it eventually clicks and I go, oh fuck, then I'll turn them into another scene. So the research panel, I'm going to leave these guys how they are, but going forward, the research panel is two panels that are hidden. One of them, I want you to be able to see this, but I don't want you to be able to interact with these buttons. Exactly, right? So we're going to need a control first that we're going to be research control. Then I want a panel. Not a panel container this time because nothing's going to be inside of it. I think we might have to switch to that. What's it's going to be is I want it like this. Oh, we got to make the control big. I want this to be this big. Unless, can I do it with the control? Can I make it that you can not click through the control? Let's see. Mouse. Hide that. Stop. It's been an hour and a half since noon for me too. And I was first this morning, I was like, I am not going to stream. I am burned out. And then I started thinking about the research panel and I was like, oh, I wonder what node or what signal I could use, what signal they have. And then I opened up Godot and I was like, I'm just going to look at the signals to see what. and then I was like, I might as well because I wanted to work on it. So this game, I stream every time I work on Hex Demon. I don't do that. Okay, so this will actually work. We don't need this panel. What I want it to do is so you can see through it, but you can't click through it. So this looks like this is going to stop you from once it's open. It's going to stop the click, so you can't change the speed or anything else. But I want you to be able to see it because when you're buying shit, you need to be able to see how much resources you have. Or researching, it might be important. But we are going to add another panel. Actually, we're going to do a panel container though. In this one, I'm not sure. I think it will be a full screen thing, except we're going to put a margin on it to give space for that top thing so you can see it. Theme override, maybe? No. I think we're going to need a margin thing this time for real. Margin thing. This thing will have this thing in it. This thing. How does this thing work? I used it the other day, but now I can't remember. I don't want it to... Wait, margin container? No, that's what I used, wasn't it? Let's see. Oh, was that in the other game? That was in the other game. Um, let's see. I want it to be invisible. No, not like that invisible. I want it to be not that, but that's this. Okay, let me think here. The container panel, does this need to be the whole screen? I think it does. And then we put the margin in here somewhere. Layout. Not focus, definitely not focus. Margin container. Theme, it's got to be theme. There we go. Then that was 26 for, that's not on the left. 26 for some hellish reason. So last night I was playing that quasi I keep wanting to call it Quasimodo, Quasimorph, and I don't know, it was having that same thing we worked on yesterday, that same issue. It was something similar. So I was pushing a key and it was triggering a button, or the other way around. I was pushing a button, but I had pushed a key last time, and I was like, what the fuck? I just worked on this. Because, it's an early access game. I think that's what was happening. All right, so in this thing, I think this is what we want. But I do now think when I look at stuff, I go, oh, how did they do this? To look this way or whatever. It's better. So definitely, if the screen comes up and it says made with Unity, I'll think, oh, that's how they did that, or that's however they did that's cool. How do you do that? We fucked something up. When I say we, I mean me. I fucked something up there. Speed. Let's turn all these things. We don't need to look at all these things. Speed panel needs to be to the right. And I think it thinks it's to the right. Did I move it to the wrong? This needs to be down here. Come here, motherfucker. It needs to be right there. I don't know how I did that, but it is fixed. And there's definitely some tricks that I've wondered how... What did I do here? Did I control V my way out of things? I guess I control V'd my way, or I don't know what I did. We need this thing to be... This is under clock. Yeah, we somehow unassign this. We got to go to here, go to editable children, Then we can just go back to here instead of looking for that thing. Save it again. I mean, my stream has a warning for language and stuff. I assume it would. I don't know. Okay, I can't click on this, which is the whole plan here. I was originally gonna make these just not interactable, but then I got lazy with this like blocker panel thing. So this block, that's what I did in Unity at least. Um, okay, so this thing is gonna need a couple of things on it. It's gonna need another. Well, it's gonna be in here. It's gonna need a label for the title, and it's gonna need a button for closing it, and it's gonna need an H thing, horizontal box. Scroll bar would be cool, but we're not to that point yet. And so let's start with the label, I guess. That's going to be easiest. This is going to be research, title, label. This is going to be, I guess we'll just leave it like that. This is going to be the close button. This is going to be the research items H box. So let's start with this thing first. This is going to be research. We're going to center it. Oh, this is behind this thing. I don't know why I find this so funny. This is a gigantic button. Okay, so that's that's not. I don't know. It's not that funny, but my whole game is just one big button. I was reading about the guy who made Fable. He made some other game where Peter whatever his last name is. He made some other game where you just like click on a cube and then when that's it, and then when you finally it like chips away at the cube, and then whoever chipped it away the most got some special prize. But I guess when the guy actually finished chipping it away, it was not a good prize. It was a horrible prize, and he basically got ripped off. Uh, I want you to be at the top this time. Maybe not that much at the top. I don't think I can. We just went through this. Yeah, we can't do that. But we can do font size. I want to make it bold too, which I've never tried to do in Godot. Um, yeah, that Peter, whatever his name is, I guess he had all these grand schemes. It's everyone's heard about like his Fable and his Black and White, and how he had all these like ridiculous concepts, and they all kind of fell apart. Black and White was pretty fucking good though. So we want this to be bigger. We want it to be like 24, let's say again. Maybe even a little bigger than that. Let's go like 36. How does this look? Actually, I don't think I need to put it below, except for that pause thing is now behind it. You know what we could do? Actually, we could put this right on the top bar. Yeah, we could actually put that right on the top bar. Now that I think about it, I don't remember why I moved because I had stuff. I had stuff up there. I think that was the plan. So originally, when I first started my game development uh, journey, what's the thing that everyone says? I started with Godot and I gave up with Godot, and then I just gave up in general. And then when I started again, I went through and looked for like the most noob friendly, and at the time, it was Unity, and it had like right after I started, it had some sort of the company had some sort of uh new issue, like an older corporate fuck up, and I can't find my label. And oh, this thing's not in the right spot. Oh, maybe it was. Uh, and I was like, well, this is a one-time thing, and it probably isn't that bad. And I should have just been like, fuck it. Let's not use, and I should have stuck with Godot because now I got like to relearn 9 months worth of shit. Oh, I just dragged it down, is what I did. I was trying to remember how, after all of this, can I just reset this stuff? That is centered. That wasn't the position. Let's look at where this control goes here. That's right. At least that's how it was before. Well, it's turned off. That would be the problem. I thought I unturned it off. But we want this to be. That's the bottom of it. What did we make that? We made that 24. Did we make this 24? I keep saying we. Did I make it? So yeah, 3 was pretty daunting. When I tried it, I always tell this story. It took me 6 hours to figure out how to get the escape key to pop up a panel, and that's all I was trying to do. But it also part of that 6 hours is I had no experience with anything. Uh, so, that is a thing. Where did I change this font for fuck's sakes? Like I'm more forgiving now of. Did I put a theme in here? I thought I thought about it, and oh, I did. Get out of here, theme. Um, oh, but it can't be that big if it's. This is where I changed the font size, and I probably could have not. I didn't have to do that. I could have done it in theme override. So let's get rid of this label. It's kind of a bummer that it has to be. It'll be fine. We'll worry about it later. Uh, we're still not centered though, so we got to go to. Eventually, I'll have after I've done this 1,000 times, I'll know where everything is. There we go. It's still doing the 26 thing. Is that half? I guess I gotta believe it. I gotta believe it. All right. So then this thing should start. Well, we'll leave it on right here. I think that will do the trick. What version of Unity were you on when you tried it? How long ago was this? It does take forever to open up. The other annoying thing is when you upgrade it, it says that it. So I was keeping on like the latest version of Unity, so I would be upgrading my projects all the time, and I would so it would be like, do you want to upgrade this? You say yes, and then like it's going to take 10 minutes, so you leave. And you come back, but it asks again right after, like after 2 minutes, it asks again and says, "Are you're about to upgrade this?" Um, all right, so this thing should start out invisible. It's gonna double check this here. All right, that's works perfectly. And then this research thing back to here, we're going to put this button that is currently a giant panel. We're gonna go to, we don't want it that size, so and I actually want it at the bottom, so we'll put it here. Minimum custom size. Actually, I don't want minimum custom size. I want just a size. We want, oh, I can't. Because it's in that container. If I take it out of that container, what happens here? No. No, it has to be, now it's in the margin thing. I guess we don't need it in the margin thing either. But I would probably want this margin thing above it if we're doing the, I don't know what the standard button is, the standard button size. That looks kind of small. Where's our button text? Oh, maybe not. That might look perfect. So you tried out the 3D thing, huh? Yeah, oh, we got that same thing where it keeps, I mean, this thing will close. So with this, I guess we go, no, button up. Where's this script gonna sit? This script is gonna sit on the research control. Let's save this shit. Add a script. What did we call this in the other one? In Unity, we called it research panel, probably. What else do we have in here? Oh, I didn't see the part about the corpse. Of course, the corpse, the course. I only read part of your message. Sorry. Um, you know what blew my mind with the C? So I took a C++ class 30 years ago. Uh, it was how computer illiterate like half the class was to start. Like some of them didn't had like never even encountered um, computers. I felt like, and so like on the first day, the teacher would be like, I can't even remember. It was like DOS or something, type in run, and people are like looking at their keyboard like they had never seen a keyboard before. I guess this was in 1992, so it was definitely unusual. And we didn't. It wasn't DOS. We were connecting to a Unix box back then for the C++ stuff. That class was actually that class was incredibly boring. Um, they had you do very boring tasks. There was no games in it. It wasn't games. It was like spreadsheets, and it was like it was training you to work in IT, uh, r- writing scripts in C++ for mainframe computers, and so they pick the boringest things to teach you how to do. All right, so we have this research. What is it? What am I doing in here? Okay, so on enable, it's check. Okay, I see what it's doing. And originally, I was going to have it. So it was pulling the information straight from the research items. Um, I couldn't remember if I manually put that stuff in there. So I guess we'll do that again. Like manually typed it in there. We'll do that again. Originally, the idea was I wanted to be able to make it easy for me to add research uh, uh, items. And I think we'll actually call this research control. And we won't put it here though. We'll put it in the scripts, in the UI scripts. And so what it was doing is on ready, it was doing that shit. Let's not get to that part just yet. So then I also was using a toggle to show if it was completed or not. Do I have two YouTubes open? No. Um, I'm trying to think. There's how deep do we want to get into this research panel to start? We should probably. I wasn't instantiating them. I just had them sitting in there, and they were getting their info. Let's instance them. Let's put, where's this H box container thing? Let's, so what, let's pretend I put a label in here or something. Where's this shit gonna appear? I, that's how I am at work. Is I have I keep like so much shit open because people call me and they're like, hey, can you do this real quick? And I'll be like, yeah, because I have it open, and some stuff, is two-factor and all this stuff. So I rather have everything open. So at the beginning of the day, I start with a clean slate, and then after that, it slowly expands. Where is this thing? Oh look! Oh look! Its little eyeballs gray because this thing is hidden. There it is. So let's think about this. We're not going to put multiple columns of research right now. We're just going to put one. Where's this thing? Horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Why are you not moving over here, buddy? Oh, this part up here? He didn't like that? 240. I hope your computer's good. On my label? No. I think I need to be on here, and I need to have. This is shrink. container sizing. I don't care if it's if it's this um, big. Like if I don't care if the containers is big, we probably actually want to change the size. Well, right now it doesn't matter. We're gonna go baby steps. You know, before we even get into these baby steps, let's mess with the time to make it stop when this thing comes on. Yes. So let's do that first. Well, let's link the button to this first. So the button's here. We're gonna have it button up, and we're gonna have it go to the script that is in the research control. Can you link two signals to, can you like have it link like when button up it goes to just show? Let's see. Godot link to signals. Let's look at the documentation. Sometimes that's useful. Double click the press signal to open that. Then you can connect to the node. We name the callback on button press. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait, what's this? Oh, that's just the, if you click the icon at pop-up display information about the connection, the feature is only available when connecting to the editor. Let's replace the pass keyword. Turn off and on when you press. Before trying the game, we need to simplify our press. Oh, here's the thing we were talking about. So that computer sounds good. An i7 with 48 gigs of RAM. That's not bad at all. I'm surprised I didn't say megs. I've been saying megs forever. I don't know why. I always like, even at work, will be like, megs. What's that? We need a public void. It's not open. Show research panel. And then we can just do show, I think. And then, whoops, all my blue icons here. So if we press button up, and then we go this, and then we're also going to put it close. What did I not save in here? Then we're gonna need to close. Well, we might as well just put it in here while I'm here. Then we can link the close button to here as well, I think. Make sure I'm on the right thing here. Yeah, it's weird that all these errors pop up regularly. All right, so this what doesn't do anything. Did I link the wrong thing? We didn't get any bugs. Research button. Show research panel. GD prints. It's not a research panel. I gotta stop using that. Well, I guess it kind of is. It kind of is a research panel. What did I do? Oh, you know what I think I did is I'm not, well, we can tell. I think my blocker, no? Yeah, my blocker panel is blocking my clicks. Uh, uh, you got to take the small thing. So the control. Oh, but it's hidden. Um, it's doing its job. It's hidden though. Can you not clock through things? Click through Godot. Click through hidden objects. Read this. Let's look back here. There was the mouse thing. Well, let's double check that this is the issue. Pretty sure it is, but maybe it's not. Yeah, that's the wait. It looked like for a second I could click on them. It's not on the button though. I know what it is. It's this. And I was clicking on that one pixel. It's not the control. I just wanted to ignore. I get what's the difference? Let's see. The control will not receive mouse button input events through. The control will also not receive the mouse entered. We want to ignore. We want it to be completely ignored. All right. So the issue, it wasn't the. It was this control. It was this thing. That was an easy fix. Some stuff like it's so crazy how easy they made it in Godot. All right. Yeah. See, now they're highlighting. We click this. We click that. Just double check here. My speed is changing. There we go. You would hope, but you know sometimes you gotta make them ignorant. Oh, you posted another picture. I didn't even see. Oh, is this the visual thing you were talking about? See, this looks nice. This looks actually okay. This looks so. That's kind of how I was trying to get my animation things to be like more organized like this, but it always turned into a clusterfuck. And then there's some in Unity to mess with some of the. I forget what I was doing, but you have to use this thing where you connect these lines for the fuck was it for? Some kind of shader thing. And those would also become like this. They totally would. Um, it was and I would be following like a tutorial and I would look at their end and my end and they would look the same, but it would still be all these like lines connecting. And you know, if you fuck one up, then the whole thing turns. Well, of course, it's programming. If you fuck one thing up, it's always all fucked up. Okay, so we got that thing going. I'm gonna take a quick break though, and I'm gonna be back in less than 5 minutes if I can find where OBS is. I have so much stuff up. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Now yours looked good. It was that well, unless that one was yours. Let me start my music again here. Well, this is double check what I did here. Research button. Okay, that is what I want. Except we want on here. We want another signal or we want a signal. We want visibility change, and we want to connect this to the clock. And it's so crazy having so few scripts created so far for this. Like usually I have 1,000. Speaking of things open, I have 1,000 scripts that I'm always trying to close. And um, we're gonna try this pause and unpause here. Whoops, I didn't get the whole word, but all right, that works. So what happens? We can't click on any of this stuff, which is what I want. What happens if we hit spacebar? All right, so that's a problem. Um, we want spacebar to not do anything at that time. I clicked on this. Or even this was on Reddit. Yeah, that person had to have done that just oh my god. That's what you do when you know you're about to get fired. You're like, yeah, no, the code, it works. And then yeah. All right, so that thing works. We need to set up some sort of. So let's do some like kind of tearing out of code. Did I put this? I did. Let's move this shit out of here. This shit's gonna go into its own thing here in main. We have the clock. I'm gonna add a new node, just a straight node here, and we're gonna put it up at the top. When Win was saying the other day that I should be using Node 2D, and I wonder that we're gonna call this if I'm fucking something up here when I'm using these just straight nodes. And I want to add a script, and we're gonna call this script controls, and we're gonna put this in scripts. We're gonna put this here. We're gonna create this. We're gonna get rid of this shit. We're gonna go back to not that. You know, I looked at Unreal briefly before when I was leaving Unity. You know, I was like, should I just go to Unreal? And the issue is like I don't plan. Well, 10 years from now, it'd be nice to make a 3D game, but I don't need those graphical fidelity. And also, um, I feel like we got to go open source. You know what I mean? Like it just moving from one company to another. I know Unreal has uh, is a private company, which is better than a public company, but it's still like I feel like it's a similar move, and I rather just not take the chance. Where are we at with clock? We're gonna cut this shit, and we're gonna do everything in this controls from now on. Yeah, clock. Do we have? You Unreal people were Unreal people or I need a clock instance here or actually people like people from Unreal or just people the oh the game engine itself was causing you issues. Now I understand. We don't need these controls anymore. It doesn't work that way in this game or in this engine. I'm gonna move some stuff around too because everything's like everywhere. No, Ready's actually in its own spot. This we don't need anymore. Let's put this here. This we don't need anymore. This we do need. And we don't need this. What was I doing with this? This is just showing us we were doing that test the other day. Oh, right. Clock does not exist in the current context. It should. Oh, it shouldn't. Oh, you know what we could do? Well, it'd be interesting. I'm going to probably use a second namespace here at some point. All right, so now we can go back to here. Whoops, not back to there. That works, but then we're also going to put, I think I'll just have it. No, we'll put it in our globals. I didn't pin this ever, huh? Oh, we have barely any. After this, we'll do a public. Huh. Let's not call this controls. Let's call this uh, player controls. And let's rename this because there's already the thing. There's already control. There's mini control, and I don't want to be typing that in. that's that's how it always is. When my coworkers call me for help, they're always like, every time, well, 95% of the time, they're like, "This isn't going to happen because I have you on the phone now," and it doesn't happen. And so it's like it's just the curse. It has to not work when you're showing it to someone else. Whatever you're doing. Um, So I renamed that. I wanted to rename this. And I want to rename. I think I got to close this first, though. I noticed this the other day. I want to rename this. And then we'll do a public bool player controls enabled. And then do we want to export this? I guess we could just for pretty soon. I'm gonna need labels in here for the different headers. I don't know what they're called. We talked about this the other day. Yeah, this is that weird thing. So we need to have I need to open this again. Need to open it for real. So here, I think I can put it right here. Equal to true. I got this for some tutorial. I was like, there's a different way to do it in Unity, and I was trying to see if there's a similar way. Whoops. And the person just said, just do an if statement. All right. So then when this thing opens, we'll do that. We'll put this at the bottom here. Well, we haven't added anything. We are making it better though. All right, so that paused it automatically, which is what we wanted. Let's make sure like spacebar works here, and then let's make sure spacebar doesn't work here, which it doesn't. We got this beautiful thing that we're gonna. All right, so that's easy. We've gotten that going. You know what? I'm also well, no, I was gonna say I'm also gonna start it paused, but we'll deal with that later. Now we got to go. We do need on ready. We don't need this. We don't need this. We're gonna need ready. And this is where it's gonna get a little complicated. Well, no, let's set up this thing first. And this I think we're gonna make like a scene once I figure out what it looks like and where it goes. And I don't think it's gonna be a panel container actually. So let's start with the panel container instead of just a label. This is gonna be and then in this container there'll be a label. And we'll put this anchored to the center. And then the label is going to just say research item. And let's put test at the beginning. Test research item. It's daunting though. It's daunting to look at the amount of code I'm going to need to write to rewrite this. And you know, some of it I can copy over and use, but some of it I can't. It's kind of let's actually just turn this on so we can see it. All right, that didn't center. Okay, so this container, we're gonna have to set a size. Yeah, it's so much work that I'm redoing. It's like I felt like I was really making progress before. Oh, I can't edit this. I need this. Okay, wait, a panel container. We actually need in the wait. The panel container contains this label only. I'm still a little confused why panel containers are better than panels. Container size. We want to shrink center, fill. But then we want a minimum size of some amount. I don't know. I think we want that the other way. We want this much bigger, actually. Okay, that might be too big. You know what? That's gonna be fine for right now. We're gonna only have like 3 of them at the beginning, and we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have columns of them eventually with lines. So that's what I was talking about with your tutorial on the skill tree. Is I want columns and line. And actually, I never had thought of it. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday. I want a different, like you research, but then there'll be like the shitty shack, and then the next thing will be the slightly better shack. And when I was looking at your tutorial, I was like, wait, I couldn't, instead of having them separate, I could have you do levels just like in your thing, like start out at level 0 of 3 or whatever. So I might actually take that idea. This thing should be centered. Um, I want to have like a bazillion research, but there's a point where it's like improved shitty shack, kind of seems dumb. Better advanced shitty shack. You go from basic, medium, advanced, improved, and it's just like, why have this huge line of things that are basically the same thing except with like some minor bonuses? um, do we just want to have the name? I think we want to have just the name right now. Well, let me think about this. How did I do it in Unity? I had just the checkbox. Do we want to try the checkbox to say it's done? Yeah, so I was using, oh, I see what I was doing there too. I was having it like, which is an idea in the checkbox. I never was very pleased with the checkbox, but it's a temporary thing. I would rather have the checkbox at the middle bottom, actually. Oh, that's a good idea too. So they know what they're getting. What does it take? Do we have checkboxes in this? I'm just curious. We do. What do they look like? There's one right there. What is it? Oh, we're missing a major thing here. We're missing that. Um, I don't know if I like that. I mean, I never really liked it in the first place. Check button. Is that a different thing? Oh, it's right below it. Yeah, with this little slidey thing. Oh, that does look pretty cool. The other idea I was having to just put a word, that says completed. Whatever I do, it doesn't have to be very hardcore right now. Let's. Oh, wait, this needs to be a button. So we're already going down the wrong path here. Let's do this. This needs to be just a normal button. I forgot. This needs to be a button that says. Um, I'm just curious. I mean, we want it to be a giant button like that. So the panel container actually makes sense with the button to me. to a point. I'm just not sure. Oh, fuck. Well, this one it doesn't matter. This one it will matter. I was trying to click the research button to close the research panel, which I made impossible, and now I'm wondering if that was the whole idea was dumb. Because huh. What happens if I make two of these buttons? Oh no, I wouldn't make two buttons. I would make two panel containers. Oh, I have the wrong thing. This should be a vertical, and I did it wrong. Um, change type. That's what I wanted, and I just didn't think about it. Oh, that was the goal. The goal was to have two buttons, but I wanted to make sure that that looked right. Yeah, that's a pretty big, but that's gonna be how it works. So I need to convert this thing. This is gonna be research item. Do we need a script in this? We do need a script in this. So let's do this the way I want to do it instead of half-assing it. Well, it's going to be half-assed regardless. So there's going to be a bazillion buttons, but we're going to just start. That's the half-assed half-assed part that I was just talking about. I'm going to have multiple columns and then like a scroll bar at the bottom, but I don't want to get too into it. So what will yeah, it's eventually. Yeah, I'll need like three of those. Well, more than three. And then that's when the lines will come into effect. But that's so far down the road. I just want like the most basic thing. But I'm going to do something. I think we're going to. Did I close that one thing? So let's go back here. Not that far back. Let's go to look at this thing. So this is what I want to fix. Well, it's not fix, but yes, it's fix. So that's a different thing. So I have all these research items that are commented out at the bottom because I got all excited and made like 50 fucking research items, and they're not necessary for the the point we were at. There was totally no reason to have those. So I reduced it down to 3, which are somewhere that I've lost. Um, it doesn't think there's anything in here because I'm not. Gotta go to current documents. Wonder if I might have moved it to some other script, which is what I kind of want to do here. But I want to pull it from a JSON file, actually, instead of. So originally when I was, yeah, that's the, oh, it's right here. It is right here. That is one of the research items. So I want to have my research happen like when people are doing stuff in the background. It will also apply points, and it might not be good stuff. So elitism isn't like a good thing. It will give you some bonuses and some negatives. Um, but that's like 100 million years down the road. So I think what I want to do is pull this stuff, this information from file, so that like I'm setting myself for a learning experience from JSON. I don't want it like I definitely don't want it like this in the code anymore. I don't want to do all these things in the code. Um, that's actually the part of it. Um, that's actually like the plan is like so like your second in command might start demanding like after elitism is researched, and might start demanding like better house, better whatever, more wood or whatever. But yeah, I don't want it like this anymore. I decided I don't like how so much of the code is like based on these things. I want it to be pulled from files this time around. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it differently, and this is the way. I'm gonna do it like a better way. I feel like I hope is better. So let's. This is what we're gonna do. Like this is way above my current Godot level, but you gotta push. You gotta get out there. So we're gonna do 3 of these. First, we just gotta pull the name. Um, but I want to on ready. I'm gonna instantiate. It's gonna go through the list and instantiate them. So the first thing we gotta do, I gotta like plan this out in my brain here. The first thing I'm gonna need to do is have the list for when this for ready. So how the fuck do I get this list and what should it look like? Let's go back to this thing. In research control, we have these 2 things we're gonna need. I don't know how to write to disk, so well, that's not true. I know how to read from disk. Let's look at that. Oh, that's in my other game. Um, let's look at this. This one. It's not there. Where did I put that? I wanted it in globals originally, but I was having issues getting that to work with the order of operation. Load goblin names. Oh, and this is the other issue I was having is I had to move these, like, I couldn't get them to work with the res thing. While I was able to get them like this to work for graphics and stuff. Man. So let's see if we can find some examples of this. Whoops. Well, that's fine. Godot writes to file. Because I need to write it first. No, not to file, to JSON. I need to write it first, and then I want to read it. I want to write it first so I can look at what I'm putting in there. Well, let's even okay. So before we even get to that, let's put the information that we need in here. We're going to need. It's going to be a list. Yes. Or dictionary. Let's start with a list of what? List of strings, a list of public classes. So what are we going to need the public class to be? Do I have one over here? I have one from the old thing. Let's see what that public class look like. It is so we need most of this stuff. So let's copy this over. Let's go to here. Oh, I haven't even made like a public class folder. Weird. That's like one of the a big This is so early on. I need to be more dedicated to this. We're going to add a script. Create new script. This is called research items. And then in here, oh, research item is actually what it should be called. You are correct, Mr. Old Code. Close that. I keep having stuff. Let's just make sure this is saved, and then we'll fix that in a second. Research item. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So I'm still, I don't understand the partial classes thing still. It doesn't, I just put that in there because it makes me put it in there. I don't, I don't know what it means. We need to go back to here and go rename this to research item. And then get rid of this crap. I don't think I need using Godot, actually. No, I don't. And we don't need serializable because that would be nice. Actually, it's letting me do serializable. Weird. All right, we'll do that. Yeah, I totally, we're not going to need this right now. We're going to need that. We're going to need that. We're going to need that. We can get rid of this. We definitely don't need the game object. We're going to do this. And we can put this back. Just any old thing. Right. You mean down here? No, up here, add a new node. Add a new node, search for panel container. I never thought about favoriting any of these. See how it drops from node to canvas to, yes. So it's like part of the tree of node. Panel container inherits from container, which inherits, yeah, all right. Yeah, that makes sense. And like viewports are part of node, it looks like. Or no, they're on their own level. They're siblings. Canvas I gonna do. Okay. All right. So any of the sibling stuff. Oh, okay. So is node then a full class? The terminology. Um, is that a full class? But then what about just straight up public classes? I'm using them in the Hex Demon one without any issues. Because that's what you're talking about, right? Is the fact that I'm making a um is node 2D at the top like that, or is that a different thing? Okay, so it's down one. It's down two actually. So I noticed earlier that canvas item, I don't know if it was today or yesterday or whatever, that canvas item was like in almost every single one of them. Um, but I was also, using nodes. So that's why these are always, they want the partial class thing. So I didn't understand that. I wish I could do this. I can tell this is old code because I don't do name anymore. Not on its own. Yeah. So that makes sense. Now it makes more sense. I was just when I was originally Googling, like this stuff, it was just no one was saying why. It was all about just do it. And so I was like, I guess this works. But now it makes more sense that it's part of that thing. Um, I made combat a private class, I think. No, I did in having or not a private class, a public class. Um, So what was I going over here? I was going to do, so on here on ready, I'm going to we need a list of, I should be able to do this, right? Research item. And then now I'm worried. Research items. And then we just do new. So if you're making a shader, for example, you would have at the top shader type canvas item. This canvas item type shader can be applied to any. Okay, so they're like shared between. Is that what you're saying? Like, so does that mean? Well, I can just type it in right here. Where's one of these? Does it matter? Does it go by name? Because I notice we look up stuff by name a lot. Uh, I'm gonna actually change this. Um, the canvas item type shader can be applied to any 2D. So if you're making a shader, in other, uh, let's not use shaders as an example. Let's use like, so if I like this research panel container is a partial class, right? And then, but are you saying I could use that partial class anywhere that's, or am I misunderstanding completely? I feel like now I'm misunderstanding completely. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna first create this list. We're gonna add the information. This is just a test. Test. What did we need? A name, a description. This is a test item. Then we needed two bools. You want a third, fifth, fourth? You're lying to me. IntelliSense. One, two, yeah. Don't do that to me. What's your problem? Oh, we got to do add new. Yeah, I was right there. There we go. Nope, I got another thing here. All right, let me go back to what you're telling me here. If you click script at the top of the editor, then on the right, and look to the right, you'll see the help. Uh, the search help or this help. Click that and go to control. Right. What I mean was like, can I access this from like over here? Because it's a partial class, or does that is that not apply to what I'm thinking of? So the shader thing, I think what you're meaning, once it's created, we can access it on the different materials like here. Um, but that's different than what. Not, these things are different. You know, this help is probably what I should be looking at a lot of times when I'm just trying to figure out what they can do. Now that you pointed out, I never have clicked this search help thing. In fact, I almost never clicked this script thing. And when I first started, again, I was doing that. So we have this one thing added. Now we got to figure out how to write it to disk. And then once we write it to disk, I can see what it looks like. And then when it looks like that, then I can just then we can get rid of the writing to disk and read it from disk. JSON documentation. JSON is all. Oh, there's this. I know how to do it in C sharp. Um, but I think that there's. I don't. So there's like a. I know how to do part of it in C sharp. Let's see what this person says. Reading, if I can figure out how to read or, whoa, that's big. Switch to resources and got everything working. So this is, well, this is dirty JSON already above the level. Get rid of the, can do a better job. So this is why are, we were talking about this yesterday, I think. Start working there a lot easier. What is this guy trying to do? I'm first time working on them. I'm using C sharp as well. What I'm going to do is read a dictionary from a JSON file that contains some values. I don't think we're going to use a dictionary. I don't think it's necessary. Here's the beginning of the file. All right, what is this resource thing? If you're using C sharp, the .NET implementation is clearer than the Godot one, except it doesn't interact with the Godot file system. Yeah, so that's the problem, and it doesn't give you Godot types, making it next to useless if you already want to interact with it. All right. Just use file access class. Don't know what you mean by Godot types, but you can always write a custom type parser. These people are arguing in languages I don't even know what they're talking about. Run your JSON through something like this to make sure it's valid. Oh man, I don't want to have to write my own. Oh right, you were mentioning that. So that yeah, you were mentioning that yesterday. That's what you were talking about. Was there like scriptable objects? Will these be like scriptable objects? Possibly. When modders, what does the file look like for modders, or is that impossible? Or is that not? Do they not? Can they not access that? So let's look at Godot resources. You know, it's kind of cool is well, you pronounce it the same as I do, I think. But every other tutorial, Godot is pronounced differently by every person every tutorial. There's Godot, Godot. Okay, what the fuck is this? Um, Resource is a base class for all Godot specific serving primarily as data containers. Since they are inherited from ref count, in C sharp, resources will not be freed instantly after they are no longer in use. Instead, garbage collection will run periodically. Uh, the Godot. I think that was the one I heard yesterday. Um, when I first, like way back, like I was mentioning earlier, I was like, holy shit, is this like Godot, like the guy's name? Well, like waiting for Godot, or what is this? And then I gave up caring a little bit, but then I'm pretty sure it's Godot. I need an example of this. Well, they have a tutorial, so let's look at this tutorial. So I'm trying to think, what do we need in here? It could just be, it is like a data container. It is just data. There was another thing I wanted to look at though. Localization. We might. I don't want to have multiple. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that too. I'm gonna put that on my list here. Look at localization. Because that's my fear. Like I don't want to. Like one of the things, like this, I know that this is bad. We don't want the text coded in, and then we'll have to like go through and find the text and edit it. But I'm gonna have to figure out how that works so that I can. I don't want to set myself up for failure later, even though that's what I'm doing with this research only working for this few things. But that's a different failure. So I want to think about that. Let me see here. Every object, be it a node or resource, can export properties. There's many types of properties like string. They can be external to a scene, save on a disk as individual files. Oh, look at Discord. Let me see here. Like this. Oh, I saw people doing the dictionaries too, and I'm not quite sure why they're going for dictionaries over user items. Where does user save to? Modify right. Jeez. Okay, so that doesn't look that crazy. Like roaming or something. Roaming, app data roaming. Dictionary, new Godot. Oh, I see. So like sword attack, no. What is the thing? What is the index for? Let's see here. What is the index for sword attack? Is like the first part is the index of it? No, bow attack is no. Would be the key and 6 is the value. But then bow speed is another key for it that it's got to look for. Each one of those is a different entry into the dictionary. Are those different than a C sharp dictionary? Like what are those the comparison? Godot dictionary versus C sharp dictionary. Or recently I decided to switch. I'm really enjoying it. Dictionary seem a bit weird. I'm used to the statically typed, but at Godot, they apparently can be exported to the editor. Godot has its own dictionaries, which can be exported kind of. Can a Godot dictionary be typed? Oh no, I use them. They everything else I use them. I have so in my other so we're gonna use we might do a Godot one, but in all of these are in a dictionary and they're accessed by name, um, by the name of the province, and it's actually I that's another thing I set myself up for failure was by naming those provinces there with their state and stuff in there. Or sorry, the counties with the state and stuff in there. Dictionary type would be dictionary. Unfortunately, Godot is dynamic, and I don't think that any way to type constrain it in C sharp. If you need a key value, but exported to the. I got like really dictionary happy for a minute back when I was starting with Unity. Um, and then I walked back how many dictionaries I had because it was out of control, and every node and game object was, well, they're game objects. Um, they were everything was getting the name of the game object to interact with the dictionary, and at first it seemed good, but then it became this labyrinth, and I was like, holy shit! I wish these were just numbered like a list, and so that I went back to a list. Um, is it shut down? I thought they were just moving it. Except keys and values are both object. Doesn't implement iDictionary for some reason. How old is this? This is 3 years old, 4 years old. Well, let's not worry. Oh, this guy's doing. He's doing. Okay, so this isn't going to be user data. This is all right. Let's go back to my other code here where I was struggling with this other thing. Where the fuck was that? I just opened it up. Oh, did I close it again? It was under. I closed it. It was. Um, oh, it was under. Was it under global? I just looked at it like 5 seconds ago. I'm gonna take a break in a second too here. Maybe I should take one now. Uh, it was this, and then this is bad. I'm gonna put a note in here. This is bad because I have to copy these lists into the finished game. So let's not even look at that. All right, let me take a quick break and let me look at this thing. And I'm gonna go like back to like baby stuff. I gotta break it down into the simplest thing. First, we have let's try to write just anything to the resource, and we'll go from there. Because I didn't have any issues reading it this way. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Break it down into like the baby steps, and then once I get there, we'll go from there. But I'm gonna take a quick break. Let me throw out my break timer wherever the fuck it is. Now I can never find anything, and then I will be back in less than 5 minutes. All right. Let's make this the first step of this is where is resources? Where is this? Because I want to put a file. Well, I'm gonna need to start some music. I don't know what I'm listening to here, and I don't want to listen to it. No. Um, um, yeah, let's listen to that. We got an hour. We can get this going here. So let's see. Okay, so that is how my memory is suddenly coming back here. So res is whatever folder I put in here. So we'll put, slash the folder. We'll put in here. We'll put a not that. No, we'll put a folder in this root that will be. We'll just call it research items for now. And then I want to let's close this so I stop opening it over and over again. Uh, I closed the wrong one. That's okay. Uh, let's go open up my scripts. We are going with research. Forgot that I already put a UI folder in here. Let's go with. I'm going to put a path up here. I think it's a string, a private. I can type private string research items path will equal res research items. Then, so I did this in two. God, I guess we got to open that other thing up again here. I did it in two different ways. How did I do it? Um, I remember I did it with it was when I'm getting the was it in globals? No, that was just the list for the names. I was doing it with the grid creator. I'm grabbing the things. Oh, but those are let's I just want basic. So why didn't this thing work? This is a rhetorical question. Why didn't this? I wonder if it was just because I didn't know what I was doing. Let's put some info in here because I will need to copy the files over. Um, this is C sharp. That's what's going on. All right, so that's what was going on there. C sharp. Is this what I was just looking at? This is what I was just looking at, but well, let's look at it again now that we're halfway there. Um, I want to see what it looks like without that, because I was having issues with the res part. What does this person say? Well, you put a link to this. Read from file. How can I properly read this large CSV? Wow, these are a lot. There's a lot of questions. I've never looked at it this way. I've only looked at the specific questions. Can I get to know when someone reads my reply? um, zero answers. Can we sort by answers? No. Um, here, this might be, but this isn't C sharp. Except I probably configure this. I can sometimes like basic file read open. Get as text. I'm not going to do a CSV. Uh, I'm going to do a JSON. Do you have a tutorial on that? I probably should have looked. Uh, path and mode, but that's what I used over here. I thought this was the C sharp version. Oh no, that's okay. This is the C sharp version. It's weird that like that's a thing. Okay, so on ready, we actually don't need this to do anything. We don't really need that at all right this second. Dot open path, comma, then we'd see what we wanted to do. Let's say we wanted to read, but do we know what does this give me? Mode flag read. I don't think that's what we want. We wanted the other one. Oh, maybe that is what I wanted. Oh. Right now I'm reading. I'm gonna make one that just has a single word on it. Maybe it is this. Uh, First, I'm gonna do one that just has a single word before we get to that. That's what I want to read first, just to make sure. It's easier to do that first because I'm gonna have to put like a file name and stuff too. Um, let's go in here. Let's go to here. File access. What are you gonna tell me in here, little buddy? Little buddy is what I'm calling everything these days. I don't know what happened. I started calling my cat. I started calling my cat that. See, this just has read in there. You need the middle part. Which middle part? Resource loader. Instead, as some files are converted to engine-specific formats, files are dynamically closed if the process exits normally, such as by clicking the window manager's close button, or if you stop the project, the file won't close as the game will be killed. You can work around this by doing flush at regular intervals. It is the mode part? That seems so weird to be that the mode flags part is in there. That seems bizarre to me that oh, I guess that's where it says right there. Then I want this to be I guess I can't do it that way. So data, this is useful for storing. Here's an example. Var file. Oh yeah, I did this. I fucked around with this. Okay, so this, oh, using var file. What? Um, why using? That seems like insanity to me. It's kind of nice that they have these things. Wait, this is not what we want. I wanted my string here. We're just gonna put one word in, but I'm gonna look at this again. Where was it? There we go. Get file, get as text. String content. Use. Okay, all right, I got you. I got you. String, sure, we'll call it content, equals file read something. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this so I can have it open on my other window. Was that the one I wanted? Yes. I need to be able to reference. I need to be able to reference everything because my memory is so fucking terrible. File gets. I thought this would be a capital. It almost. Oh no, I called it file. Dot gets as text, and then we're gonna debug log. Not that. Oh, I called it content. Oh, and we don't use debug log. That's my auto content. It's good. I like it. I like content. I guess we should put something in here. Content and what does it do? Rain with a what is my eyesight is terrible. I'm going to. Does it make the text rainbow? Rainbow. I don't. Where do I do this? Oh, GD print rich. I'm getting old. Um, expects a comma. Oh, earlier, what's crazy about that? Is it talking about it there? The other day I noticed there was a comma in. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Oh, it might be. Most things are capital R's, I've noticed when they convert over. Um, I don't know. It doesn't like it. I'm sad now, though. Uh, Continert, whatever comes out here. Concomitant. All right. So then we got to put, I didn't put the name of the file up here. I just put the thing test file .txt. Sure. Then did I put research? Yes, I did say research. Items. Can I create a new text file? Oh, I can. That's nice of it. Shit, I can't even remember the name. I think I called it test file. .txt, test file.txt, then let's open this puppy up. I'm just going to put one word in here. We'll put motherfucker just for the shock value. Oh, we can put an exclamation point just even more for really to cause issues. And we're looking at, well, let's just run it and see what happens, and we'll see how, what bugs appear or disappear or whatever. Okay, so that worked. So that wasn't that bad. The first time I know I tell all these horror stories, the first time I did Unity, it was also quite a pain. That wasn't that bad. Of course, you helped, Joker. You're very helpful. Thank you. Okay, so this is how we read a file. Reading a file from the project folders. And now we're going to figure out how to write one. Writing it. Which seems to me like we would do this somewhat similarly. Oh, we got to open it first. Wait, what happens if it doesn't exist? God damn it. Create. No, it had a little, it was suggesting something that doesn't exist. Let's look. It had an example. Actually, I got this screenshot over here. All right, so we're gonna have to have it, which is fine. No, if the file doesn't exist, but we're gonna have to have. I mean, it's gonna have to be there in the game. The game wouldn't play without it existing. So it's me saying like, what happens if it doesn't exist? We probably should put some sort of error checking in there, but we're not going to. We're just gonna do the text file called research items. Oh, is there a thing built in for it already to check? File exists, but we're gonna get rid of there's some convoluted way I did it before in Unity. I forget how I was doing, why I was doing it. Oh no, it wasn't for Unity. I was trying to fuck around with. It was for Unity. It was in Unity, but it wasn't from one of my games. I was just messing around with their net code, and there was this convoluted way to. I wanted to check like saved games and stuff, and it was like I wanted to make sure there wasn't too many of them, like whatever. And I was like counting how many files were in there and all sorts of shit. We're gonna call this now research items as well. I didn't put a whatchamacallit. Oh, it automatically put it in as text. Or I typed that in there. Can we do this? Let's see. Equals true. Then so if that exists, we want to file open comma file access mode flags right. What do you mean? File store string contents. This is not going to come out right. We need this. I am. I always get this. That diagnostics thing. I don't know what what thing I'm accidentally typing in all the time. Okay, so then I need oh, inside the quotes. I didn't have it inside quotes, I don't think. No, I didn't have it inside quotes. I had it in outside of the quotes. Um and then I was like using the plus to try to add it into the end. So this, can we do store? No, not file. Okay, we need this. We need this here. It checks if it, and then it's using var file equals that, and then we go file store. This isn't a string though. Let's see what happens anyways. Just to research items. I guess, yeah, we can make it a string. Sure. And then I'll try this rich rainbow. I need this rainbow whatevs. Are you not using brackets? It looks like you're using brackets. GD print rich. It doesn't, this looks like, well, maybe it doesn't know what that is. All right. So then we're going to see what this looks like. I wonder if it's going to be open. Then we'll turn it into a JSON, and then we'll do whatever. Yeah, so that's what I. It's funny that so do you put that in your code for when you really need to find this stuff? You're like, oh man, this is instead of like the error warning version. All right, let's comment that out. What are there a bunch of these things? Oh, we didn't look to see what the file looked like. It's probably kind of important. We can look it up over here. Okay, so that didn't work. Oh, we would have to go through. Store string is not what we want. We want something else. Store var. I wonder what that puts in there. And is it going to add it to the end? Which could be useful, but not at this particular. It's still the same. Oh, that's the BB code thing. That's, that's the old, in the good old days, 1997 or something. Well, let's put this, since I got to do a JSON anyways, let's see if we can go from here. So this part's pretty easy. I don't know what this using thing, I've never seen that in my life. That doesn't mean that it's not used all the time. I just never have seen it. So write JSON. The way you're trying to do it is kind of strange. The way I save and load dictionaries, uh, though, is this: store var, file close, JSON stringifies. Oh, is that a thing that you add in? That Unity has a similar thing. Oh, right. This shouldn't be here. Um, because I want to save the whole thing. Store var. Did I leave that in there? One day. Stores any variant value to file. If full object is true, encoded objects, okay, is allowed and can potentially include. What you're asking me for here? Full bool var to bytes. Not all properties are included. Only properties that are configured with the property usage flag. I feel like I see that thing regularly. I want it to be. What did this person? They were saying how to do it. I think, not on here. Uh, parse. Oh wait, you had a JSON stringify. Is that think it's a link because of the dot? Yeah, because of the dot. I was like, maybe you know how you can change the. Um, so let's see. This is gonna be. I'll put a var test JSON. Names all to be continued from this useful for serializing data to save to a file. Oh, but we were thinking about using resources. Then I got sidetracked back going to doing it this way. That was like the whole. I was looking over resources just to maybe use resources, and then I was like, wait, let's go back to the. I didn't even say wait. I just went back over to it because my brain barely works. Um, yeah, exactly. um, well, let's see. Oh, god damn my typos today. I guess every day. Let's close all that. We don't need a whole nether. It's right here. Because it might be easier to use it. Because these. Oh, are these like scriptable objects though, where you're not supposed to be changing variables in them? Because it's gonna need to have variables changed all the time. With if it's well, not all the time, a couple of time. Um, they can define constants, methods. They can define signals. They can define properties. Resources can even serialize sub-resources reclusively, meaning users can design even more sophisticated data structures. Users can save resources as version-friendly control files. Upon exporting a game, Godot serializes resources like a binary for increased speed and compression. Create a plain resource object in the inspector. This can even be a type that derives resource so long as the script is extended that type. I don't know what the extension thing. I still don't understand that either. The inspector will now display your resources script's custom properties. um, is the extending scripts part of this partial thing like you were talking about earlier? That's a different side thing, but um, okay. So these are like lot like scriptable objects. Resource scripts are similar to Unity's scriptable objects. Their inspector provides built-in support for custom. If desired, can even design their own Unreal's engines, and are also easy to recreate. Beware the resources file will store their path that they use in the file. When loaded, they will load this as an extension of this type. So the thing with scriptable objects is you're not supposed to be like using them as like to change variables. At least that's the issue I was running into. They're not really like they're supposed to be like the initial data, and if you change them, they remember, but they're not like a public class or anything. Scenes, but there's a catch. Saving scenes to disk are resources of packed. Scene is packed inside it. Yeah, so I've done these. That part makes sense. This comes with many distinct alternatives such as JSON, CSV, or custom text files. Users can only import these assets as a dictionary. What sets resources apart is their inheritance of object, ref counted, and and resource features. They can define constants, so constants from other are not needed. They can define methods. Um, is this not up to date? Yeah, it's up to date. Here are some resource examples. They were talking about bullets. Um, I don't even know where that was. Uh, it's now back to the same thing. It's a it's a loop. It looks like you got to be able to edit them because or to be able to change them all the time. What do they look like on disk, though? It looks like they don't look like something easily editable. Let's try this first. Let's try. Uh, let's try this resource thing. So let's go back to it said like how to create your own. So let's go to that and I'll creating your own. Create a plain resource object in the inspector. This can even be a type that derives resource so long as your script is extending the type. Uh, example partial. Okay, so you put resource at the end, which I have a thing. I have that. Well, we won't need the one. Oh, we do. All right, let's go back to that script and look at it. That I don't know which one's which. I picked the wrong. I had a 50-50. Um, and then I'm gonna need a what did this example look like? I should have put the example on my other monitor. Uh, yeah, I'm beginning to think I shouldn't have streamed today at all because my brain's already all right. We're gonna need this in. We got using Godot. We'll get rid of this serializable because this was from Unity. Uh, and we're gonna need the namespace, player space. Well, yeah, my brain. Control end. Then we need the partial class. This isn't. This is. I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to do like a tutorial or something on those things. Um, because I'm gonna need a bunch. One for each research item. And if they're like scriptable objects, you put them. I don't even. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to learn it this second though. Maybe I should just call it a day. I think I'm gonna call it a day. My brain doesn't work. It's Sunday. I still gotta take a nap. I nap every day. I don't know. Um, take a nap, do chores. But we got the basics of when it goes ready, we can start adding stuff. I don't want to like move things that I don't like from Unity to Godot. You know what I mean? And I didn't. Um, I never liked that there was all this code that was for like items and things wherever that was. We don't need to look at it. That was just like a wall of different items and things. And I was always planning to move that at the future, but I mean, let's start the foundation the correct way. So next time, probably next weekend, we'll do this right. And I'll have to look at how resources work more, like via a video or something. But yeah, that is it for me today. Joker, thanks again for the help, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good rest of your lives. That sounds dark. Bye.